And you have dedicated almost 2 decades to teaching, right? So, what was the turning point when you realized language skills were the missing link for engineering employability?
Majority of the people whom we get as a students are from rural and semi-urban, and they are technically brilliant. You mark my word, they are technically polished and brilliant. They can solve any complex problems. But in 2010, when we started the first time the campus placement drive, there was one company, I don't want to name that company, they came to us to recruit some of the bright minds in our college. But unfortunately, at the end, they haven't selected even a single student from our college. And I asked out of curiosity, what is the problem? They said, technically, your students are brilliant, but the fact of the matter is they do not have the right communication to convey.
And how do you see this language and soft skills intersecting with the technical expertise? Especially we are in the era of remote work and also global teams. And this is not going to stop here with regard to remote work and engaging with global teams. This is going to grow further. So, what's your take about it?
I just give you one example.
Sure.
Now we both are doing a podcast in remote, right? This is the best example for your question. What you have asked me. If I want to handshake with you, how could I do it? I can't do it, right? It's
No.
quite impossible physically. But I have the voice, I have the words as a communicator. So I've developed over a period of time with persistency, with perseverance, with dedication, with honesty, with passion, whatnot. So now, whatever you listen, whatever I convey to you, using my words, you build trust. So this is what important. Your words will build trust.
So, folks, you have tuned into TGV and hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series, the world's only quadrilingual podcast at this moment of recording. And we are trying to embark into multiple languages as we speak. And here we embark on transformative conversations for a better future. And we want to simplify and amplify your journey to success. I'm your host, Navin Samala, dedicated to making the world a better place by bringing you wisdom through valuable discussions with experts designed to simplify and amplify your success. And thank you so much for tuning in. So, folks, we are joined by Dr. Anil Kumar D, who holds a PhD from IIT Madras. He is an accomplished academician with 18 plus years of teaching experience, specializing in language skills for engineering students from semi-urban and rural backgrounds. And his research and mentoring focuses on bridging the communication and employability gap using innovating teaching strategies, AI tools, and also task-based learning. And he has helped countless graduates gain placement confidence and also career readiness. So, Dr. Anil, we are privileged to have you on the show today and hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Navin. It's wonderful to be a part of your podcast. Thanks for inviting me and thanks for having me. I hope everything is fine from your end. I am doing very good, brother.
Absolutely. I'm doing very well, kind of living my passion and everything is in its place. And it's going really, really well. All right. So, folks, today we are going to delve into an interesting conversation on an interesting topic, words that work, language skills for engineering employability. But before we get started, here is an exciting twist as always. Let us tickle our guest's brain first. So, Dr. Anil, get ready for a rapid fire round of some interesting questions. And I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I would love to hear the first thing that comes to your mind in response without thinking much. And if you're ready, let's dive right in.
Yeah, please.
Hello, I'm Steve Ahern, one of the judges of the Asia Podcast Awards. I'm interrupting this episode to let you know that you're listening to an award-winning podcast. This podcast won its category in the 2024 Podcast Awards, so you know you're listening to quality. Enjoy your listening experience, and congratulations to the team who created this award-winning podcast for you.
Okay, so here comes my first question. Your favorite poem or a proverb?
Uh, for me, there are plenty, but since you have asked only one, let me put it in this way. Good words makes a person better. Because
Good word.
this is something very interesting. If you speak good words with the people, even the bad person at some point of time start thinking in a very positive sense.
Absolutely. I love it. And a jugaad, which is an Indian term for hack, right? A jugaad you used often as a student.
Yeah. My jugaad, if I would remember correct, I used to carry a small notebook, a pocket book, I would call it, where while traveling from my school on an auto rickshaw, I used to write down the words which I hear, or the teachers in my class, my peers at the lunch break, if they use any new word which comes to my ear, I used to write it down. That's how my vocabulary has been improved. And that is also another important factor which played in my entire career, which also helped me to listen to English commentary to get much more words and use them in the other day, knowingly and unknowingly, which makes interest to my friends also. That was my favorite jugaad. Yeah.
No, no, nice. Because I could relate to what you have mentioned. And typically, I read newspaper. I've been reading it like past 22 years onwards. And every time I come across a new word, I try to underline it and or note it down and find a meaning and then start using it. That has been my jugaad, in line with what you have mentioned so far. And Dr. Anil, mention a turning point in your life.
From a middle class family to getting into IIT to do research was the best part of my life. And that I would consider as my turning point, because whatever the exposure I got from the bright minds at IIT Madras, the professors, my colleagues, my colleague researchers, and all, that I can able to bring back. If a guy from rural, semi-urban conditions like me can go and get the best of the knowledge, then my responsibilities grows and it increases there and then after. So I took all of them back, and now I am just trying to share to all my people, my students at my college. Yeah, that was my turning point in life of getting into IIT. Yeah.
Absolutely. And can you mention the most brilliant student innovation you have ever seen?
Navin, I've been watching lot of innovations for that matter of fact. But one really stuck to my mind is one of these electronics and communication engineer very long back in 2011, 2012, if I'm right. There are a group of people, they wanted to invent something which is really needed for their village. Can you guess what could be that? That was very interesting. Maybe technically it is something very normal, but for those kids, it's the need of the hour for them, because there is a problem with reliable electricity at villages. So these people have started using mobile phones in those days very frequently for all those activities around them. So they have invented one portable solar charger. Though, as I told you, though the invention was not an amazing or a novel one, but here technical things is not that much comes to care. But the kind of empathy they have shown towards their community, that's an amazing. That's that's
Yeah.
that's probably the best invention I have seen so far. Because inventions, in my opinion, Naveen, it need to be useful for the people who are in need of that.
Yeah. So I
If
would say
any of
it
such,
was a
yeah,
yeah, it was a purpose driven innovation, if I'm not wrong.
yes,
Yeah.
it should be purposeful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. And if you had a time machine for one day, where would you go?
Uh, Interesting. If I have the given opportunity, or I have this time machine like Aditya 369, uh, I would definitely go back to 1947 August 15th day, when India, woke up in the morning of August 15 and started celebrating that they have come out of all these problems they have been facing for decades, years long in the long run. I have to see quietly, calmly sitting in a school, seeing the ceremonial procession of the first ever independence. How the common people used to enjoy that freedom.
Yeah.
That I would have done if I have the privilege to get this time machine. Yeah.
Creative and at the same time patriotic, and I love it. I love your response. And for those of you who are not familiar with Aditya 369, it is a movie based on time machine, and it was released in 1990s in Telugu language. Okay, and moving ahead, what is your favorite movie dialogue?
I stopped watching movies for a
Mhm.
couple of years. I don't know the reason exactly, but since you have asked me, I have recollect one immediately from Three Idiots. If you're skillful, automatically the kind of success will follow you,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
जीत जीत आप काबिल बनोगे तो जीत
Mhm.
अपने आप खुद खींच के आएगा. This is what literally, I don't know how far I am good at Hindi, but this is how it looks. So if you're skillful, empower yourself with skill set, then automatically success one day, if not today, tomorrow morning, it has to come to you. It will come to you.
Excellent. Love it, love it. And what is one skill you wish you could learn overnight?
Overnight, if I have the luxury to become, what do you call it, the digital animator,
Mm. Okay,
that would
good.
be a very fascinating point because these days I'm working in AI tools. And there is also a selfish thing behind being uh, uh, getting into a digital animation is I could able to easily translate my all English lessons, which are affordable to the rural people also. They can just there is a fun, there is a learning. Both there is a deadly combination. I would believe, right?
Absolutely. And most importantly, the thought is very noble. Yeah, I wish, yeah, that comes true. And what is the biggest myth about language learning?
It's see right from day one, if teachers say you have to speak in English, that cannot be happen. It is something like you take them to the swimming pool and you show the water and say this is a swimming pool of 8 meters long and 4 meters depth, and you have to swim. No, you keep them in the swimming pool and then teach them how to do that swimming. Then they understand their problems. For every student, there will be a different problem which you need to, as a teacher, need to identify it and then address it also.
Yeah.
So
And can you share a fun moment from your teaching career?
fun in the sense, yeah. In one of my lessons, if my memory is correct, I normally teaching some vocabulary lessons, and one of my vocabulary drill is to use a word in the context. Students can use in any context. So my word for that day in vocabulary drill was meticulous, right?
Mm.
Meticulous. So one of the student suddenly after 2 to 3 minutes, everybody was busy. I was going around all the benches and watching how the students were engaged to write a word with the help of meticulous as a word. One student suddenly jumped into to me and said, "Sir, I have written one sentence. Can I share it with you?" Then I said, "Go ahead, go ahead." Then he said, "My mother meticulously my mother is so meticulous. She even iron my socks." By listening that sentence, everybody in the entire class were burst into laughter. Even I couldn't resist myself. But here, what exactly come to my mind if I recollect that one, Navin? um, See, students, whatever skill you're teaching, whatever serious skill you're teaching to them, but students always remember those memorable, funny, realistic things what their other colleagues or peers, share with them. That's the beauty of learning in the context of classrooms. That was very funny for me.
And And,
Yeah,
and I'm sure they're going to recollect that word forever because of that example and
yeah, yeah.
something related to day-to-day activity. That was wonderful first rapid fire round, and thank you so much for participating in that. And also, thank you so much for being part of our journey in shaping the careers and lives of millions across the globe. So, there is one more rapid fire round towards the end of the episode. So, stay tuned. And now let's get into the mainstream questions. So, Dr. Anil, talk to us about who is your guiding voice.
My guiding was not a professor at IIT Madras. Don't expect that answer from me. But as many young people's guiding forces, my father was my guiding force. He was such a great man with simplicity. He even told me, me and my brother, when we were young, he used to tell me, like, Anil, if you are educated and you become skillful, that is the wealth you will possess till your death, and nobody can take away that. Every time you learn new things, your bank balance of knowledge will improve, and you became a millionaire, billionaire, above all trillionaire also. Yeah,
And no,
that was very
that's all.
inspiring thing. And when I stuck some time at IIT Madras, Naveen, I must confess this here in
Yeah,
this
sure.
podcast that At one point of time, I was stuck with my research and I was having a self doubt in me. Then I ring my father and call him and said, Dad, this is what going on, since long time. Then he again repeated the same thing. You are there with a purpose, right? You are there to get the wealth of knowledge by hook or by crook. Do your best, put your every best possible way in order to get that wealth of knowledge. Don't give up. So that has erased my self doubt in the mind. And the result, you all know, you're now calling me doctor. That's all. That's all because of his words on that particular day. Yeah,
So inspiring. And one other important thing is this wealth is something which nobody can steal from us, right? Whatever we
exactly.
learn and all, unlike any other wealth. So amazing thought. And with that, let's move to the next one. Please talk to us about your success mantra, as in top three things that have contributed to your success so far.
Number one, I am passionate.
Mhm.
And number two, I have this resilience and I have the curiosity.
Mm.
Those three actually are running, and I would say in an open platform in your podcast for the first time ever. A lot of my students ask, "What is your success mantra?" You always will have a smile and energy right from 9:30 to 4:30 all the day around the 365 days, and I never reveal that. Since you have asked me, I must confess it. Resilience, curiosity, and passion. These three are like I would feel that those are all the three important things in my life for my success.
Sure. Thanks for sharing that. And you have dedicated almost 2 decades to teaching, right? So, what was the turning point when you realized language skills were the missing link for engineering employability?
Yeah, thanks for asking that, Naveen. We are in touch with the student community who generally comes from rural and semi-urban, particularly because
Mm.
I've been working with an institute, Srinivas Ramanujam Institute of Technology, which is in Anantapur of Andhra Pradesh, where I've been working since 2008. Majority of the people whom we get as a students are from rural and semi-urban, and they are technically brilliant. You mark my word, they are technically polished and brilliant. They can solve any complex problems. But in 2010, when we started the first time the campus placement drive, there was one company, I don't want to name that company, they came to us to recruit some of the bright minds in our college. But unfortunately, at the end, they haven't selected even a single student from our college. And I asked out of curiosity, what is the problem? They said, technically, your students are brilliant, but the fact of the matter is they do not have the right communication to convey. So we can't able to take that as a problem. So you need to take care of those issues. Since then, it has been triggering in my mind whether how to solve this problem. And when I got an opportunity to getting into IIT Madras, Naveen, with the bright minds around, the professors were down to earth. They were very keen on teaching everything in detail. And they also use the language which you are comfortable with. Not that they'll ask you to come to their level, they'll come to your level. They'll sit with you,
Mm.
they'll sip coffee with you and start conveying you in your own way of understanding. And once I was explored to that particular environment with that kind of environment, or teaching and everything, that has helped me to take every learning aspect back to Anantapur, back to my institute. And now I believe I'm doing my best in giving it back to these people who really need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. And let's double click on your PhD research at IIT Madras, right? So,
Yeah.
how did this PhD research at IIT Madras shape your practical approach to training students from semi-urban and rural India?
Well, Naveen, first of all, I got without any knowledge that there was an IIT where I can go to IIT Madras or any IIT for that reason to pursue my PhD in language teaching. A lot of people think that IIT is only for technological innovations and everything, but we have a strong humanities and social sciences department where people talk about language, people talk about linguistics, people talk about economy, people talk about behavior, people talk about philosophy, what not, everything is explored. So I was very fortunate from a semi-urban background, born and brought up in Kadri in Andhra Pradesh, getting a seat at IIT Madras at my 30 to 33. So when I went there, like as I told you earlier, I was with self-doubt. But I started believing in myself with the inspirational, motivation given by my own role model, my father, and with the help of my wife at that time, who was also staying with me. So these all things helped me a lot to understand what is the actual problem these people are facing. So we started working on task based instruction. So now let me add one minute on what task based is. It is something which you do on real time, right?
Mm.
So that really, triggered in my mind, like this is what the gap our semi-urban and urban, like rural people are facing. So we have done an experimental study, and we have seen how much confidence the people will get with the help of using task-based instructions, particularly conveying it to the English language teacher. And this is something like doing learning by doing in one way. I would
Yeah.
summarize in that one way. Learning by doing is what task-based instruction
Immediately.
is. Exactly. That improves language competence. That improves lexical competence. That also improves the learner's confidence in doing things. By doing things, they will able to learn what the mistakes are. So that's how
So,
the task-based instruction is very, very critical in professional students' lives. If we teach them using these kind of platforms, you would see wonders.
yeah, great to know that. And in your experience, what are the top three communication challenges faced by engineering graduates from rural or semi-urban areas?
Yeah. So I would say three. Let me start with one. People do not have that courage to make mistakes. They forget one thing, that this is not a mother tongue, right? So that's a problem. If I speak a wrong word, people will make fun of me. That is the biggest problem these semi-urban and rural people are facing, that they have to come out quickly using certain strategies and methodologies. And the second thing is, they do not have the awareness of how a language can be used and learned. That's the biggest problem. Third, they're always get in the middle of translation, like from their mother tongue to the language what they were using. So I won't say translation is a crime as a language teacher, as a language learner, in fact. But how quickly a student can come out of that particular notion is the biggest challenge for those students.
Mhm.
So I believe, for Navin, these three are the biggest challenges these semi-urban and rural people are facing. Hopefully, people like you through your podcast, people like me, and people like other who have the same intentions can address these challenges and help them. Moreover,
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, actually, this takes me back to my old memories in terms of when I started this podcast way back in 2020.
yeah.
Uh, my intent was to help students from rural engineering colleges and rural MBA colleges to get all the skills that are required for them to succeed. Right. So that is how I actually envision. But over a period of time, it has really matured and grown into a global podcast, and now catering to people from all walks of life, not just limited to engineering students as well as professional students, but also professionals, entrepreneurs, and technocrats across the globe. Yeah, so I'm with you in terms of we definitely need more hands in terms of giving those skills to people from less privileged backgrounds, especially from the demography side. Thank you so much for all your contributions, and I wish you all the best in terms of taking this to next level. And with that, let's move to the next question. So, Dr. Anil, how can AI tools democratize access to language learning for students without access to premium coaching?
See, now you can't run away out of using AI. There's no doubt at all. They write emails, they write codes, everything they do. What the best part as a language learner is, you consider all this AI revolution as a benefit to you, as an advantage to
Mhm.
you. Treat
Yeah.
these AI as a teacher in your pocket. I will tell these
Mhm.
young kids from rural background that yes, you are now very lucky. Your generation is lucky that now you have AI at its best and doing all possible things. Because previously the rich content of language learning were only been available for those cosmopolitan, semi-cosmopolitan cities, students. Obviously, because of its unaffordability, right? These people can't afford. But now AI with internet available everywhere, thanks to Geo, Airtel, everybody was running into this competitive world of providing huge data for these students. So for me, AI will democratize in such a way that it will become a best teacher for these rural kids. The only thing is they must know how to accommodate to AI. They must know how to show the concerns of using that one, to what extent they can use. Then things would definitely change in a matter of very less time. Yeah.
Yeah, great. And with a lot of buzz around AI and a bit of hype as well, and AI automating many tasks and all. So, what will employability mean for engineers in 2020, like 5 years from now?
See, by using AI, AI cannot do three things as far as my knowledge is concerned. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Some of our viewer can tell Anil you're wrong. I'll be very happy. But the fact of the matter is, AI, we are better than AI in creative thinking, in collaboration, and the cultural aspect. So if you add these three C's, all these engineers who are using, all these professional engineering guys who are using AI in every aspect of their life, by using these three, they would definitely make use the best of AIs.
Hmm. Love it, you
Yeah.
nailed it. And how do you see this language and soft skills intersecting with the technical expertise? Especially we are in the era of remote work and also global teams. And this is not going to stop here with regard to remote work and engaging with global teams. This is going to grow further. So, what's your take about it?
Yeah, as I said earlier, Naveen, technical skills are at its best. You must possess them. There is no alternative for that one. There's no shortcut. But the matter of fact is, technical skills can only help you to enter into the interview, but the communication skill will help you to get shortlisted. No?
Yeah.
So that link we should not miss out. And these people who are at their no engineering third year and fourth year must understand how to balance both of them.
Right.
Right. Point number one, and number two is they also should have a clear idea of what's their communication competencies, because every individual, every learner is different from others. If I have a problem, that may not be a problem to you.
Yeah.
When particularly we're talking about communication, what the problem you face may not be a problem at all for me right from the day one of my language learning. So if people wanted to get employability in this 2025, 26, 27, where AI is also at its best, so people need to understand their level of competence in communication and try to integrate both technical aspects as well as their communication. I'll just give you one example.
Sure.
Now we both are doing a podcast in remote, right? This is the best example for your question what you have asked me. If I want to handshake with you, how could I do it? I can't do it, right? It's
No.
quite impossible physically. But I have the voice, I have the words as a communicator. So I've developed over a period of time with persistency, with perseverance, with dedication, with honesty, with passion, whatnot. So now, whatever you listen, whatever I convey to you, using my words, you build trust. So this is what important. Your words will build trust in a remote setup. Whether you are meeting with a client or having a discussion, or you're presenting to your manager, you technical guy who's in the corporate know better than me, right? I hope you agree with me, Naveen, on this point.
Absolutely. No, no. It makes a lot of sense, actually. Like your presence through these virtual tools and all in terms of your voice, which is really bold and which can convey your confidence, right? That will make a lot of difference. And thank you for emphasizing on that. And you have had an amazing conversation so far, and it's time for us to spice up the episode with second rapid fire round. I'm going to trigger the second rapid fire round with a set of intriguing questions. And if you're ready, let's get started.
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay,
please.
my first question is like if you could have one gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say?
I would say learn, share, so that you can lift others.
Learn and share so that you can lift others. Super.
Learn,
Very
share,
cool.
and lift others. Could be like
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Profound, profound. And can you describe yourself in just one word?
I'm passionate here.
Um,
That suits me, I
a
think.
book. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I concur with you. And a book that changed your life.
Wings of Fire, which is an autobiography of APJ Abdul Kalam. I read almost like 700 odd times.
700
Because
times.
yeah, because when I started my career, as an young teacher, like 25 and a half and 26, I was supposed to teach this as a subject to the engineering students. That is one of the elective for them. So I started reading like the other book. But once I started reading and understanding the kind of things, the kind of contributions he has made, coming from a Rameshwaram where there is no transport facilities in those years, and sacrificing everything, whatever he has, with only one aim to fly. And see, Naveen, if you read Wings of Fire, it will teach you the essential aspects what a professional engineer must possess, a young student must possess. Either it could be overcoming the challenges, not getting disappointed if you lose an opportunity, right? I'll cite one example, if you allow me. When Dr. APJ, finished his aerospace engineering and wanted to fly, he went to Darjeeling. He was shortlisted for pilot selections, right? There were 9 people. Kalam sir went to Darjeeling and attended that interview, but unfortunately, they require Indian, Air Force people. They require only 8 people, and he is standing in ninth position. His dream was to fly, right? But he couldn't able to do that. And he was so disappointed. He was so disappointed, deliberately shattered into pieces because his dream was just, can't able to reach. So he was coming back, and during his coming back from the interview, he was crossing an ashram where Swami Shivananda saw Abdul Kalam. Abdul Kalam do not know who is Swami Shivananda. Swami do not know who is Abdul Kalam. But when Swami saw Abdul Kalam, like he was very, very disappointed. He called Abdul Kalam and said, "What happened?" Then he has narrated the entire, story to him. Then he gave one very brilliant philosophical idea to Kalamji. He writes that in his book, if I recollect correctly. And Swami gave a philosophical idea to Kalamji in those days that if you are unable to become a pilot now, that means you're not fail. You're not failed. That means something big is waiting for you. Something big is waiting for you is a quote, Naveen, here. And within couple of years, Professor Satish Dhawan took the interview of Abdul Kalam as a rocket engineer, rocket scientist. If Abdul Kalam sir has become a pilot or one among those 8, we couldn't have seen such wonderful stories, right?
Absolutely.
So, from your podcast, I would like to convey this message to all the young people who are feeling that I wanted this, but I couldn't able to achieve this. No, 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 that's not a failure. You have to be patient because something else big is waiting for you. Yeah, very big is waiting for you.
I strongly believe in that philosophy. In fact, I still remember one of the conversations I had with a guest young chap named Nimish Goel. Again, it happened 2 to 3 years ago, and he narrated one incident where he was about to be selected for certain thing, and he decided, okay, and that did not happen, and he decided to make it really big, and he found another exciting opportunity and all. And I also believe in the same thing. Like it's all about doing with passion and purpose. Rest of the laurels and everything else will follow. So thank you for reminding that, and that's an
And
excellent story.
if you allow me, there was a
Yeah,
great
please.
thing in that book every young fellow should look after, which is leadership quality.
Right.
We all know our India was unsuccessful in its first mission of SLV, satellite launch vehicle. Our first satellite launch vehicle, rather than going into the space, it went into the Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal. So 400, 500 crores of rupees in those days was a huge amount, which we have invested in space research. And at that time, Abdul Kalamji was the project director. And when he was about to launch at 10 seconds of the machine launch, the system has given a warning that you cannot go with the launch. And he has to take the immediate decision to bypass the computer and go with the launch. And the result is it went into the Bay of Bengal. Entire world media is waiting because that is the first ever we are making our strides into space research, and that's in human psychology. If somebody was not doing well, we all wanted to know why. That's an intriguing philosophy we all follow as a human being. And at that time, Dr. Brahm Prakash was ISRO's director, and Kalam rushed into Brahm Prakash's room and he narrated entire thing what has happened, and he said, "Don't worry, you go and boost the morale of your team members. I will go and take the press conference." And Naveen, interestingly, Brahm Prakash went to the auditorium where all the world media was sitting, and he uttered these two very powerful sentences, which is a testament of a great leader. Unfortunately, we do not have such great leaders these days, unfortunately. And he said, I quote in his words, "Friends, today we have failed, but I have immense of confidence on my young team. From now, within 2 years of time, we will put SLV into the space. Thank you." He has not given any journalist from the world media to ask any intriguing question which can demoralize the scientists who work relentlessly for years together. And magically, after 2 years, in 1973, if I'm wrong, please correct me. In 1973, everything was set up. India was about to launch their first satellite launch vehicle. Again, Kalam was the project director. Brahm Prakash was the director. And this time, 3, 2, 1, boom, it went into the space with the flying colors, with our Tiranga on it.
Right.
That was a fascinating moment for all our Indians. And then Kalam was ecstatic. His team was jubilant with happiness.
Right.
And he went to meet Brahm Prakash and wanted to convey it. So this is what it has happened. And you know what he said? This
Very
is like
fascinating.
mind blowing. He said simply, okay, I need to give all this information and technical details to the Prime Minister's office. So do one thing, you please, along with your team, go and take the press conference. Now the actual thing is, a leader is one. A leader is one who need to back his team when the team is not performing.
Right.
Like Brahm Prakash did when SLV was failure. He went and addressed alone the entire world media. And when it was successful in 1973, the same Brahm Prakash, great leader of those days, said Kalam to go and take the press conference. Because team should be guided by such wonderful leaders. When team is performing well, the leader should stand back or stand like a shadow. See,
Amazing.
now when I'm telling, I'm getting goosebumps. Like that's
Yeah.
how it's influenced. Yeah.
Yeah. Very true. Thank you for sharing that. And my next question is, what's your opinion about aliens?
Aliens, I don't believe aliens are existed.
Okay.
I'm very practical.
What?
I'm very
Yeah.
practical. I'm very optimistic. Because if I end my life, I don't get the chance to see aliens also. So I don't believe in their
Fair enough.
existence.
Yeah. Fair enough. And what is an overrated skill in the industry?
Overrated.
Yeah.
People always think that they know language better than anybody. That's biggest problem.
Okay. Now I'll flip the question. What is the underrated skill in the industry?
Again, not having great skills on the diction and pronunciation, where you can able to do it, but you are just taking those language skills for granted. If you are good at one meeting, you think that you are above everybody, and you just carry forward all those things, taking things for granted. No, no. See, language. Naveen, I'll tell you, language is something what the brain can learn through bridges, not by walls or bricks. So you need to connect every day. You need to be in touch with language every day. It is a very underrated skill, I believe. Both is language only for me.
Yeah. I
Overrated
love
as
it.
well as underrated.
Connect the language through bridges. Amazing, not through walls. Superb.
Yeah.
And here comes my last one for the second rapid fire round. What is one electronic gadget or a fantasy gadget that you like to see or invent yourself?
If I allowed to invent one, I would be happy to invent one confidence booster, uh,
Wow.
like a device what we wear, like smartwatches. Because everybody was getting fear and frightened before speaking or giving some presentations, and this was instantly understands your heartbeat and it will boost your confidence. Could be.
Yeah.
It looks a little bit weird, but I would definitely invest that, and I will be the first customer, Naveen, and I will recommend that for you also. Yeah.
Love the idea. And after that amazing second rapid fire, let's flip back to the mainstream. So, what are three small daily habits students or anybody can adapt to improve their communication without feeling overwhelmed?
This is not for students or everybody. This is even what I have practiced in my whole 42 years of life. Number one is spend quality time on language. You listen, you read something, whatever you have. Spend at least
Mm.
5 to 10 minutes every day.
Mhm.
And second one is try to explain anything. It could be a recipe. It could be a joke. It could be how to make a coffee. It could be how to how to conduct a podcast. It could be anything. A headline from newspaper, whatever. A movie. A thought, an idea.
Mm.
You have to do that. That's the second one. And the third one, try to improve your language proficiency by speaking yourself and recording yourself. You speak yourself and record yourself and listen how you sound.
Right.
That boosts immense of confidence as a learner because you start self-believing yourself. Oh my God, I'm looking good. I'm sounding good. Yesterday it was bit, trembled voice I have. Today I have overcome that. So that will improve your confidence as a speaker when you stand in front of the audience. So I probably suggest these three as the very important things every day we need to follow in order to become a language expert. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a bonus question. Okay, this question might help the educators. Okay, so what is the one thing they should stop? Means the educator should stop immediately when teaching language skills.
Yeah, with due respect to all the language teachers around the world, this is not going to offend anyone, but I have seen few of them, maybe because of unawareness or because of any other allegations. Language teachers do not please do not shame the mistakes of the students. They're just learners. Because what happens, Raman, if you start shaming the mistakes of language learners as a language educator, what happens is it kills. Shaming mistakes generally kills language competency or language learning faster than grammar errors. That's what I believe. It's okay. Let them make a mistake and tell them what else you can do in order to overcome that mistake. But do not shame those mistakes because it kills faster than the grammar errors. What I believe.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think they have to follow the Toastmasters way of praising people. Okay,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
providing constructive feedback rather than criticizing someone. That's amazing advice, and I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation. It's been wonderful hosting you. And how is your experience being hosted on the Guiding Voice podcast?
First of all, I mean, thank you for inviting me on a very auspicious, great day in our history on 15th of August. Thank you for allowing to schedule this on this particular day. And as a good friend of you, I must say this is a privilege. This is an honor. This is a happy time to spend with my friend on a podcast. But three things I would take away from this podcast. It helps me to narrate what I'm thinking, as a language teacher for almost 2 decades. Hopefully, second thing is, hopefully, whatever we discuss through this podcast will reach to the maximum students. At least if 1 to 2% of people get benefited, then our entire purpose is solved. And the third is, I love the kind of questions you have raised. They were a bit intriguing at one point of time, I must confess it, but I enjoyed answering those questions because they were like nothing like a bookish. It's real time experiences what I've shared. I hope my answers also compatible or align with the questions what you have raised to me and
Absolutely.
benefit to our
I loved all
audience.
your responses. They were quite natural, and you are in the best of yourself. And thank you so much. And looking forward to doing many more episodes with you. And it was really fantastic talking to you, as mentioned earlier. All right. All right.
Thanks. That's
So,
wonderful,
friends,
wonderful time for you. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. All right. So, friends, that was our episode with Dr. Anil Kumar. And before we jump into the fun trivia section, we have a quick request. If you have enjoyed the conversation and found the episode useful, request you to share with at least 3 of your friends or colleagues or family members or whoever you think would benefit from this one. And please spread the knowledge and help others grow just like you. And before we close, here's something important to remember about communication. So, folks, it's not just about what you say. In fact, over half of our communication is in our body language, and people form an impression of us in just 7 seconds. And sometimes saying nothing for a couple of seconds can make you sound more thoughtful as well. And keep your eyes engaged about 60 to 70% of that time to build trust. And if you want someone to feel truly connected to you, and subtly mirror their tone, pace, and also gestures, because in the end, the right words matter, but how you deliver them can change everything. So, likewise, if you have any tips related to learning communication, do let me know. If you're watching this episode on YouTube, you can comment there. Or if you're listening to it on Spotify, you can comment there as well. Or else, if you have found this episode on social media platform, you can comment there as well. So, folks, that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in and also for being part of our awesome TGV family. So, until next time, take care, stay inspired, and remember, the best is yet to come. Goodbye for now. See you all in the next episode with another amazing guest. Take care. Love you all. Bye bye.